Hey guys, welcome back. It's this kind of a day. On ramp. Well guys, welcome back. In this episode, some friends of mine from the local Porsche and Pancakes crew, we're having a Dyno-Day, where EuroCharged in Minneapolis, our friend AJ, is basically hosting a morning for us, actually a whole day, at a place called Mo's Performance in Blaine, Minnesota. And we are basically going to bring our cars, we're going to get on the dyno, we're going to see what kind of horsepower and torque they kick out, and we're gonna have a bit of fun. I've never been to one of these. I've never dynoed my car. I'm not even sure if it's only horsepower and torque that gets measured. I don't know. But I'm pretty excited. And the other reason I'm excited is that I'm gonna get my car tuned today. AJ is gonna be doing a EuroCharged tune, which is a custom tune configured around the specific attributes of your car. The make, the model, the year, the engine, but then also takes into account any sort of particular mods that you've already made. Now, I'm not expecting to get a whole lot of horsepower or torque gain because mine is just a naturally, or not just, but mine is a naturally aspirated engine. You can get a huge amount of gain when you tune turbocharged cars. So the second gen 991 is an example. And if you saw my video a couple of weeks ago with my friend Ben, one of the many Bens, he had the tuned Monster, that was the name of the video, second gen 992 Carrera, which already has some kind of tune on, and it's a bit of a beast. So we're gonna get that on the dyno today and see what it's actually kicking out above and beyond the base spec for the Carrera. Noah's gonna be there, the guy you saw in a few videos ago, with the second gen 997 with his blue spec, the 4S. Bunch of other guys are going to be there. It's going to be awesome. Let's go check it out.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name's AJ. I own EuroCharged Minneapolis. We are here today at Mo's Performance. We're going to be tuning James's car. A bit of background about EuroCharged. We are a performance tuning repair shop in St. Louis Park. We're the newest franchise in Minneapolis here. There's a lot of tuning requirements in the Midwest, so they kind of made sense to have us start. So essentially EuroCharged Houston, they do a lot of the tuning only, but our shop, we do a lot of performance modifications and builds. So we've done twin turbo Huracan, Restomod 67 Camaro with an LS3 and LSA supercharger, transmission, interior, sound, everything. We built a bunch of cars over the last year and a half or so. Our name is coming out there, which is really cool. A lot of people reaching out to us, which is awesome. But yeah, we get, the Porsche guys and the AMG guys and the Audi guys, and our tunes are pretty solid. EuroCharged has done 30,000 tunes in the last 10 years.
Hey guys, so I'm here at Mo's Performance in Blaine, Minnesota, and we've got the first couple of cars in. It's super early morning on a Saturday. Some of the guys are going out to grab coffee and donuts, you know, what else? Ben's car is up first. I'm going to be up in a few cars' time. Really excited to see what's going on. Now, Ben's car has a sort of custom tune. We don't know exactly what was on the car when he bought it. It had one previous owner. Compared to other second-gen 991s, it doesn't drive anything like the base, basically the stock, which is what it is. It's a C2, rear-wheel drive. It has some kind of tune. So we're going to take the tune off, we're going to put it back on. Ben also has the Cobb tuning device with him. So we're going to play around with it a little bit and see what his car's putting out, and see, you know, just how different it is from stock. My one, we're putting on a EuroCharged tune, and we're going to do a before and after. So you'll see the base run on the dyno. We'll then apply the tune and hopefully get to see how that's done. And then we're going to run it afterwards and see what the difference is. Now, for the first generation 991 with the naturally aspirated engine, the base, so the engine is about 350 horsepower. With a tune, you can really only hope to get about 10, maybe 15 horsepower gain. And that isn't even down to the crank. It's probably going to be about 15% less than that. So maybe around 10 horsepower to the crank, which, you know, for the money, like $800, $850, I think I got it on a sale with EuroCharged. Typically it runs at just over $1,000. You're looking at about $85, I guess, per horse, and you're only adding 10. That's not a huge amount. Now, for the same money-ish, for the turbocharged engines, for the second generation 991, you can get anywhere from sort of 50 to 75 to even 100 or more horsepower gain, which is massive bang for your buck in comparison to the first generation with a naturally aspirated engine. Now, I'm told that even just with 10 or 15 horses extra and a little bit more torque, I will notice it when I'm driving. I think a pro might. Me, just being the sort of regular amateur, I'm really not sure if I'm going to notice the difference, but it's going to be fun anyway, just to see what it's like before and after, and you know, get the car on the dyno. For me today though, the excitement is really seeing what Ben's kicking out, because we don't really know. We know that the base is what, 375-ish, I think, maybe as high as 400. No, I think it's about 375. What is it actually putting out? Because anecdotally on the roads, this car has skinned everybody. It's beaten mine, it's beaten Mario's old 991 first generation S, which also had a tune, which was kicking out about 450 horses or more, because it also had the cat bypass, it also had the valved exhaust. So if that was beating Mario, surely this one is putting out more than 450. Anyway, we're gonna see. Let's go check it out.
And looking at other people's stock runs, I mean, that's like normal. And that's like, it's cool seeing the difference between the different tunes.
So after the first run with Ben's car, which has the tune, we were seeing results at the wheel at around 380 something, if I remember correctly. So if you're assuming that the horsepower measured at the wheel is anywhere from sort of 12 to 14% less than what the engine's putting out, then that means that Ben's car is putting out around 336 to maybe 347 horses, which is way above what the stock 991.2 C2 should be putting out. So clearly it's tuned. We're now going to take the tune off and go back to stock and run it again and see what the results are. By the way, I've also got to say, when the car was being revved in the dyno up to like 6,000 to 7,000 revs or so, there's Noah in the background. My pants nearly exploded. It was absolutely amazing to hear the car. Anyway, let's go.
Do it, AJ.
Graphs. The red graph is Sport, just regular mode, sorry.
Yeah.
Blue graph is Sport Plus on Stage 2 tunes. The green graph we did in Sport Plus mode with Stage 1 tune. If you look at the graph, you'll see the first one was 384 and 410 torque. And then we did it again in Sport Plus. So the difference between Sport Plus, you can't really see it here, but the blue line is the second run. In Sport Plus mode, Stage 2 tune, the power comes on quicker, earlier than it did with non-sport mode. So the difference was like 80 horsepower, I think, something like that.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. And then the torque, the torque is a significant difference between the two.
So Sports Plus really gives you that power faster.
Sport Plus gives you that power quicker, right?
Yeah.
The power at the top of the range, which is up here, is always going to be the same because that's just tuning. That's how much boost you have.
Yeah.
18 pounds, whatever it is, it'll always make that consistent. But the Sport Plus mode gives you your throttle response quicker, the power comes on quicker, amongst the other additives that come on with Sport Plus. But yeah, so the green one we did Stage 1, but obviously you can see there's really not much of a difference. It's about 3 horsepower and 7 foot-pounds of torque.
Got it.
We're gonna do now Stage 0, essentially stockpile. Let's see what it does.
So we just did the Stage 0 tune, which is essentially stock. And that was putting about 345 to the wheel, as opposed to Sports Plus with the tune, which was putting out 384 to the wheel. So you can tell there's a massive difference at the wheel. You multiply those numbers, you're essentially looking at, what we'd expect. So around 375 for stock engine power, engine horsepower, and around sort of 435 to 445 horsepower with the engine with the tune, which is pretty awesome to see validated. So my car's now being pulled up onto the dyno. They're strapping it in. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. But having seen Ben's perform the way it did with the tune and getting all of that extra horsepower, I'm now going to be sat here hoping for like a gain of 5, maybe 6 or 7 down to the wheel. We'll see. Let's go check it out. wheel on the first attempt, I am buying a 992. Forget it, I am done with this base. I am buying a 992. So fun fact for anybody wanting to put a first generation 991 on one of these brand new state-of-the-art automatic dynos, it won't work. The car detects that something is wrong and it keeps downshifting. And so we're not able to run the car properly. So the first run we did, it was showing that we were only getting 200 horses to the wheel. And the second run we did, same thing. First run, we got it to second gear, to third gear. And then when we got on the gas, it started downshifting. Same thing for the second run. We couldn't figure it out. We did some Googling, AJ contacted EuroCharged and some of his buddies, and we figured it out. Apparently it's some kind of computer issue with all first generation 991s. It didn't happen with Benz. So AJ has to use a slightly different diagnostic tool to flip a setting in the configuration which will allow the car to run on the dyno. So we're gonna figure that out and then we'll be back on it. But when I saw that result, 200 to the wheel, I was like, that's it, I'm getting a new car. I am just getting rid of this thing and I'm getting a new car. Thankfully it's not, so we'll see what the real numbers are soon. But you know, fun and games, I guess. So next up is our friend Christopher's second generation 991. It's an S model. It's going to be really interesting to see how this stacks up against Ben's base, which has got the tune. So Chris's first run got him up to about 379 at the wheel, which is a little less than what Ben's was putting out, which was 384. So the second generation 991S with a stage 1 tune, putting out about 379 to the wheel, and the base 991 with the stage 2 tune, putting out about 15 more to the wheel. That's pretty impressive. Ben's tuned monster is still top dog, if you don't count Mario's AMG GTS, which is putting out about 200 horses more than Ben's. We just ran Steve's Audi on the dyno. He was putting out about 300 horses to the wheel and 450 pounds of foot torque. That's just incredible. So not, you know, a huge amount of horsepower, but that torque just phenomenal. Now we're going to be running Noah's blue Carrera 4S, the 997.2 behind me, and then we're going to be finishing off with mine. Let's get to it. Here's my friend Noah. He's called Trouble.
What can I say?
What do you think, Noah? Are you pretty happy?
Yeah, it's still running well. 11 years old.
11 years old and it's still kicking out what it should be.
Right where it should be.
Or a little more, because you're seventh?
Probably, yeah. I think they're saying the correction that's like 390-ish, low 390. So, you know, headers, X-pipe makes up for the 11 years of age.
Nice. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And it beats my 200.
Okay, so we're at the end of the day now, and I'm running mine again. AJ's used one of the diagnostic tools to turn the dyno mode on, which apparently you need to do for these 991.1s. So now the car isn't going to automatically downshift when they start putting the throttle on. It should just let it run on the dyno. And now hopefully I'm going to be getting more than 200 horses to the wheel. But you know, never know. But I've said to the guys, if this is only giving me 200 horses to the wheel, I'm going to go home via Porsche of Minneapolis to see my friend Chris to buy a 992 because I am done with this car. If that's all I'm getting, let's go check it out.
What am I going to get to?
204.
204.
204.
Above my 202.
Above your 202. Yes.
You're so pessimistic.
No, what do you reckon?
At least 205.
205.
But realistically, I'm gonna go with, if it runs correctly, I'm gonna go with 305.
305.
If it's running right, I'm gonna say 330.
to the wheel.
Oh, you think he's gonna beat me stock to the wheel?
All right.
All right.
Slice of cold pizza to the winner.
Ooh.
I love it. What do you? No. Wait. No. Son of a bitch. Who cares though? That sounded so good.
That sounded so good.
Cool. That sounded amazing.
It's all about the sound. It's not about the power.
That sound was easily worth the loss of 50 horsepower.
Yeah. What the fuck? So scale that up. 18%, 14%. That's 300 and. No, it's not even 300.
Yeah.
How have I lost 50 horsepower?
That seems low. That's like 310, 315 at the crane. It seems low. Also, the chart on it doesn't like if you look at how clean and straightforward the chart was on a clean run versus that, like it doesn't quite look.
Yeah.
And like that's a pretty clean run with the power band growing and the torque kind of there. Yours should look more like mine rather than Ben's, and that doesn't look quite like it.
So it's a little bit better than 200, but it's not great.
Still not there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Wow, you guys, what a great day. So, overall, that was a load of fun. It's like so much fun. I want to say a big thank you to AJ and the guys at EuroCharged Minneapolis for coming out and doing all the work. You know, setting the cars up, getting us on, getting us off. Also, Mo's Performance shop here in Blaine, Minnesota. Really nice bunch of guys, and their shop is really, really cool. Looks brand new. The dyno equipment they've got there is really awesome. And just a really, really fascinating day. Overall, you know, the long and short of it, I think, is my car today was very difficult to run on the dyno. They were having a lot of trouble getting it on and getting it sort of configured and working. It was super simple with the two 991.2s. Ben's car and Christopher car, it was like straight on, configured, easy, done straight away. They had a lot of trouble with mine. They had quite a bit of trouble with Steve's Audi, getting that set up. Noah's 997 4S wasn't too bad, pretty straightforward. But for some reason, they just couldn't get the numbers out on the dyno that this car does, even stock, let alone with the tune. Having said that though, interpreting the results and talking to AJ, you know, he's pretty confident that I've got somewhere between, you know, 10 to 15 additional horses, you know, just based on what he was able to extrapolate from the data. But, you know, even just with the stock tune, we weren't able to show that the car was putting out 350 horses in the engine. And we weren't able to show that the, you know, the car was putting out more than 350 with the EuroCharged tune. So, you know, it's just a simulation, a little bit disappointing, but you know, knowing that the car is going to now have slightly better throttle response, and even an extra, you know, 10 horses, I will take. Is it worth the money? I don't know. if I was driving the second generation 991 and seeing gains of around 100 horses for a similar amount of money, oh yeah, I would be extremely happy. But, you know, let's get it in sports mode. Let's get on the highway and let's see if I can skin Noah, who's right in front of me. You're mine, Noah. No, too much traffic. Bugger. I'll see if I can get him. Like this. Well, I don't know if my car's any faster, but Jesus, that was fast. I'm not going to tell you how much I accelerated to that, but that doesn't usually happen. So maybe I have got some extra horses. But what a great day. Just seeing the whole process was absolutely fascinating. Watching them get the dyno set up, watching them get the cars strapped in, doing a couple of runs, seeing the real-time data come out on the graph, on the visual inside the shop. Really, really exciting. Just such a cool day. So that's my car tuned. I'm guessing that, you know, now that I've had it tuned, my 350 stock sort of factory horsepower is around, I would say conservatively 360. When I get my headers, maybe I'll get another 5 to 10. So, you know, maybe I can hope to push for 375. It's not as close and it's not as good as an S, but you know, every little bit helps. Now on to more exciting things. Next week, it's wrap time. I'm so excited. A lot of you have been guessing as to the color I've chosen, and some of you have nailed it. I can say that much. What I will say is that it's a shade of blue. People have been asking, I feel like as soon as you see the start of the video, you're gonna know anyway. It's a shade of blue, but which shade of blue have I gone for? You'll find out. It's going in on Tuesday to Print Lab Wraps in Lakeville, and I should get it back by the weekend, hopefully, so fingers crossed. Anyway, end of a long day, super fun. Thanks to EuroCharged Minneapolis. Thanks to Mo's Performance, and of course, all of the guys from Porsches and Pancakes. And I'll see you in another video soon. Take care, bye.